Strawn, take one.
Thanks for being part of our series on trial lawyers as storytellers, inspired by the Goodman Theater's production of Inherit the Wind across the street from our Chicago office.
That's my pleasure, Linda. I'm looking forward to seeing the show at the Goodman Theater.
Are you a theater buff?
I am. My wife and I are subscription holders to a number of theaters in Chicago. We regularly go to the Goodman, and we're in New York for Broadway shows a few times a year. So, yes, I am.
What led you to become a trial lawyer?
Well, I joined Winston Strawn many, many years ago. I like to joke it was about the time that the Earth's crust was still cooling. But in any event, we had kind of a Harry Potter-like sorting hat means of assigning new lawyers to departments. And the sorting hat saw that I had CPA on my resume. And indeed, I had passed a CPA exam as an undergraduate before going to law school. Anyway, the sorting hat put me in the tax department without any discussion, without any interaction. And I wasn't very good at being a tax lawyer. It was too complicated. It was very much a solo act. And so kind of on the side, I started picking up pro bono cases, and I saw that that was more of a teamwork exercise. I enjoyed the adversarial aspects of trial work, and I thought that I was making a real difference in terms of changing the lives of our individual clients, and in some cases, systematic changes in our community. So I eventually asked the sorting hat to sort me out of tax into litigation, and I've been there ever since.
So happily, Winston has abandoned the sorting hat.
Okay.
And has created a very robust pro bono practice, in part because you founded it. And it's been a terrific legacy at the firm.
Yes, I founded our pro bono committee, I think in 1984. It's the first one we had. So I'm pretty proud of the way it's grown over the years.
If a person got all of their information about trial lawyers from television, they might be surprised to hear that courtesy and civility matter a lot in the courtroom. Can you talk a little bit about the role of courtesy and civility among trial lawyers and why it matters?
Yeah. Unfailing courtesy is a critical character trait for successful trial lawyers. Judges don't like jerks, juries don't like jerks, and it's just not a persuasive technique. Now, there are occasions when you're going to be adversarial with a witness, but even for a lying witness, name calling's not persuasive or appropriate. Ad hominem attacks on opposing counsel are not good advocacy, definitely not appreciated by the judge. And so most of the great trial lawyers are known for unfailing courtesy. That's hard. And all too often we see a lack of civility both in written presentations and orals.
Do you think there's a relationship between being a good trial lawyer and theater?
Oh, absolutely. Both theater and good trial work require storytelling and stagecraft.
Are these skills that are taught in law school?
No, they are not. Jerry Spence, the great trial lawyer, often remarked that most lawyers coming out of law school couldn't tell the story of Goldilocks and the Three Bears without losing the audience by the first bowl of porridge. The great trial lawyers are phenomenal storytellers. They are virtuoso cross-examiners. They're civil and courteous at all times. And they have something that we refer to in the trial advocacy teaching business as grit. And by grit, I mean hard work and determination, endless preparation, and unwavering commitment to your client's cause.
So you've mentioned judgment and reasonableness as traits of an excellent trial lawyer. Can you talk a little bit about both of those?
Sure. Well, judgment, I think, comes from experience. It comes from crashing and burning repeatedly and getting back up and trying again. And anybody who's tried cases has lost cases. Anybody who's tried cases has probably crashed and burned when cross-examining witnesses and experts. So judgment comes from experience and learning. And then you asked about reasonableness. Well, that's part of judgment. Reasonableness involves knowing when to fight and when to fold your hand. I'm reminded of the Clint Eastwood movie, where Clint Eastwood said, "Well, I tried reasonableness and I didn't like it." Well, we're not Clint Eastwood. We're not Rambo. And the good trial lawyers will stipulate when they have to. They'll make concessions when it's appropriate, and they'll fight, when they have to. But reasonableness and civility are the key traits. I know for young lawyers, it's hard to get courtroom experience. It's real hard to get first chair trial experience, but at large law firms, you can get out there and do it in public interest cases. You can raise your hand and volunteer, and most times you'll get an opportunity. So trial work is like any discipline. You got to practice, and you practice, and you do it at every opportunity.